the cosmos, if you will, everyone who's connecting with us online. We welcome you and we say good morning and happy Memorial Day from the Dream Makers Network. We truly do appreciate you waking up early in the morning, wherever you are in your time zone. It's just truly a pleasure always to connect and share with folks who have come together in for the spirit of personal development. If you're on the call for the first time, my name is Byron Deese, founder of the Dream Makers Network and CEO of Engage Wealth. And we're just more than excited on this particular day, as this is the kickoff for our 90-day goal setting challenge. And particularly if you're on the call for the first time, it is worth uh, really sharing about this organization and this network and this particular effort that we take on during the summer times. This is actually our 13th 90-day goal setting challenge that we've done with the Dream Makers Network. As we started the Dream Makers Network as a personal development network to connect with like-minded people throughout the country for the purpose of personal development. And what does that really mean? In many ways, it was just an opportunity for three brothers to come together who are early in the stages of fatherhood, of parenthood, of being married, and just trying to figure out how do we approach success in this thing. It's like, it's one thing to say, okay, let's get married, let's start a family, and then you realize, yikes, like, what do we do to really be successful at this? And we're flipping burgers, flipping burgers on the deck, having the conversation, breaking bread, and beginning the process of even unpacking things that we hadn't even unpacked with our spouses about our fears, our goals, and just kind of diving into the unknown. That ultimately led to us having an opportunity to connect with other people who also may not have been in a situation they were trying to figure out how to be good husbands or even good spouses, but they did have an objective around personal development, around how do I go from where I am to where I want to be? What are the unique steps that are out there? And is this stuff written somewhere in books? Where is it? And most people had some concept of, of whether it be spiritual progress, whether it through church or the ministries, even career progress through their jobs and the community activities. But to just unpack the specific goals that you have in your life, just to go from I'm here, now I want to get there. And even those areas that aren't specific to education and career, sometimes it's just, I'm trying to figure out how to live a healthier lifestyle, or I'm trying to figure out how do I, buy my first home. I'm trying to figure out how do I connect with people who are already doing some of the things I'm dancing around in my head about as ideas. How do I even connect with some of those folks to become much more service oriented in the community in ways that I've thought about, but I haven't actually put it into practice because I'm not sure where to begin. It's amazing over the past 13 years how many different goals people have actually attempted, why they attempted those goals, what they were related to, whether it was health, spiritual, business, retirement, didn't matter. It was just across the board. And when we host our first 90-day goal setting challenge in the summer of 2013, it was exactly that. It was seeing people who were trying someone to lose weight. Some were getting ready to write a book. Some were preparing to open a dental practice. Others were trying to advance in being a parent. It was across the board, but the energy around personal development is what we wanted to capture. And so the mastermind call, which is what we host on Saturday mornings, is that opportunity to capture the energy around personal development, to hear someone else's story and be inspired, either be inspired to support them and cheer them on, or even be inspired to connect them with someone who could add value to what they just mentioned is a big goal of theirs. That intentionality and willingness to be of service to somebody else, all while you're focused as ever into accomplishing the goals that you have, is the spirit of the mastermind. It is that energy that we try to unlock as often as possible, even in times where you wouldn't expect it. I'm always looking into a room to see, is there someone I can connect with where we could create just kind of a little mini mastermind in something that, especially when you show up like at a conference or a networking event or even church or a community activity, and you connect with someone who is ready. They may not, it may not even open their mouths to say what they're ready to do, but you can connect with them because your energies are in the right place. Just like that, you can create a mastermind. And so I'm thankful that over the past, we've hosted this call, the mastermind call, for 14 years, but this is our 13th 90-day goal setting challenge. And I'm thankful to all of you who decided to wake up this morning and dive in with us. I'm thankful for all of the folks who will connect with us, who are going to watch this later and say, you know what, I need this right now. And I look at it like this. I mean, we're talking about going from Memorial Day to Labor Day, the summertime. Most people get excited about the summer anyway, right? They're like, oh, I'm gonna get my summer sexy on, and whatever it takes to, they start thinking about vacations and the beach. And so that your thoughts around the summer usually is of some level of optimism. We may as well throw in a personal goal setting challenge to tap into the things that really matter to you. And more importantly, I think the thing that I always think about is that, are there ideas in your mind that you just have there, and you, between you and God, you guys dance around with them all the time, but you haven't put them to practice? And more importantly, you haven't challenged yourself to see if you could actually create something from the idea that you have in your mind, to take it from thought and wish to practical and reality. That is, for me, it's all, I love hearing those stories. I'm always reading books just to try to figure out what was the process they went through just to get to that point. And so I wanted to just kind of sow that seed for you this morning as we're beginning the process. Many of you may have your own ideas that you've been thinking about, something you may have already started. We want to organize all of that and take it from where it is to where you want it to be. And the real theme this year around the 90-day goal setting challenge, if I had to kind of identify one phrase that would really highlight what this is about, it's what is in your hand. What is already in your hand? What does that mean? When we say what is in your hand, meaning what do you already have? What have you already created? Whether it's something, a business you already built, or an effort you've already started, or something that you've already, from a concept perspective, it's already here. It's not something you have to start fresh and new on. It's here right now. You've started it. It exists. Other people have seen it. It's not like a secret that you have. Like, it is a thing. It's a thing, whether it's something that is in motion. The question now for the next 90 days is, how do we make it everything you need it to be to accomplish your goals? And I think it's really important because over the past 13 years, I don't think we've ever approached the 90-day goal setting challenge from that respect. We've definitely given us an opportunity to say something you wanted to start. And so we begin that process of, what do you do when you start something new? But to be able to take a look at what you've already created, maybe it was the case that you created something during your 90, or I should say during your New Year's resolutions, or maybe it was something you created years ago, and you're trying to figure out how to take it to the next level. I think back to when I started working as a financial advisor and started working with business owners. And it didn't take long it didn't take long for me to realize that I didn't have all the skill sets. I had the interest. I really wanted to work with business owners, and I can unpack why. But I knew up to that point, I'd spent most of my time in retirement planning and providing retirement plans to business owners and employers, but I hadn't worked with business owners specifically to help them with their businesses. And I knew I had a passion for it, an interest, I should say a deep interest, but I didn't have all the tools. And it was time to figure out, what do I do to not only enter this market, but to be of service, of real value to a business owner who was looking to grow and then one day possibly sell their business. And for me, that was kind of the beginning. It was something that I had in my hand. All of my clients, well, actually, most of my clients at that time were business owners, because we were providing retirement plans to those business owners to prep for their clients or for their employees. But I didn't have what it took to work with them specifically. So it was that moment to say, what do I need from here to grow a business and work specifically to be of value to them? I think each of you could probably take a step back and think about what you currently have access to that you'd like to advance. And also, what do you currently already know and understand that will at least get you in the door, right? Where you could provide instant value because you already know and understand a certain skill set, a certain model, a certain approach, something that it could be technical, whatever the case. We all know our experts in some field or interest. This is an opportunity to take a step back and say, of the things that I already know and understand, what of those things can I actually utilize right now to get me from where I am right now to where I really want to be? And the question is, a lot of times folks will say, well, I just don't even know where I want to be, right? I don't know what I'm shooting for. And I always ask folks the question around, what are the things that make you excited and what are the things that piss you off? And then unpack the question of, why is that the case? Why does this thing make me excited? And why does this thing really makes me upset or mad? And understand what are the reasons behind that, because those two things will help you get to the uniqueness of why you are the way you are. And if you double down on that and decide to truly build something from a DNA perspective, then you're really creating some true value, not only for yourself, because it's always great to be able to work in your space, to work in the areas where you vibe, that's unique to anybody else. But it's something, I think, even more to watch you be active in the things that matter to you and see it benefit a host of people. To watch what you were brought here to do benefit other people. To test those things out, just to see how you feel and how did it make somebody else feel. And just begin to document that. I was doing something I enjoyed doing, and then I saw someone else benefit from the things that I enjoyed doing the most. Now if that is an experiment, which I'm asking you to do over the next 90 days, if that is an experiment that you're actively, one, thinking about, and two, pursuing on a daily basis, just think about how that's going to make you feel every day, because you know that's how you're approaching your day. And then possibly measure the progress that it's brought to not only your life, but whether it's just something that an emotion that you felt, or some of it could very well be of monetary value. But to be able to measure and do an assessment of how are you growing every day. And so we want to take this time, these next 90 days, to make one, big 90-day goals and identify what we're trying to accomplish, but then break it down into weekly, daily, and intraday goals. That in of itself will keep you on message. And then at the end of that day, you can identify if you accomplished it. Because one, did you do it? Did you do something that is part of that daily objective, which is part of a weekly objective, which is part of a goal that will get you toward your ultimate objective in 90 days? Um, I think it's really worth that type of conversation. I remember just last week when and having a meeting with the client, and they gave me access to. It's like, I heard your call. I saw what you're posting. You're talking about your 90 days. I want you to see what I'm working on. And I got a chance to be in the space to see exactly where things were at the time, but where the goal is, what should be real and in 90 days to take from the building that we were in that was just a lot of plywood and sawdust, you know, and to what will it possibly be, which I believe it will. She will accomplish this in 90 days, and all of the activity that's going to happen in between that time period. I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't help but just get excited because I'm not one of those people who just has like a creative mind. Like, how a lot of people who have those interior designers who can just walk into a room and see something that's not there. Like, I always wish I had that kind of an eye. I don't have it, right? But she started to show me something. This is going to be like that, and if you take a step back, you'll see where this will come out. And I was like, you know what? I can actually, now that you say it, I can actually see that. And I think that's a process that we all have to apply in the next 90 days, is looking at what we're going to center our time and energy on, what we're going to focus on, and then begin to flirt around in your thoughts and your ideas around what it will actually look like in 90 days. And so, and just quickly to go back to this whole thought process and the reason why we would even say, well, what's in your hand? It takes me back to the first time I ever heard that was in the scriptures in Exodus 4 and 2. And we all know the story of Moses, where Moses had the rod in his hand and God had big plans for Moses. And he said, well, what's in your hand? And he said, I have a rod. He said, well, throw the rod on the ground. He threw it on the ground and became a serpent. He said, now grab it by its tail. Well, most people know you don't grab a snake by its tail. It's going to turn around and bite you. He said, grab the snake by its tail. He grabbed the snake by its tail and became the rod that he had before. And that in and of itself, for me, whenever even as a kid hearing that scripture and that whole story, it was one of those tests of faith, if you will, that I know I have something. I have a great idea. I have a great abilities. I have great talents. I have all these things, but I'm just afraid to take the first step and begin to take these ideas, take these things that I already know to a place that could actually help me grow. It is a situation because what if the snake turns around and bites me? What if that happens? Like, I'm afraid of that. And I want us to be able to, at least for this call and for the next 90 days, is to address the fear. It's to just literally, specifically address the fear. And as often as you can, grab the tail. Grab the tail of the snake and be faithful, knowing that this thing that I've had in my hand for however long you've had it, however long ago you found the rod, how long ago you started the business, how long ago you created the idea, how long ago you've had the degree that hasn't been effectively utilized. This is the time to grab the tail and to address the fear of the unknown. And it's amazing how that story popped up in my head. And just going from that scripture to a book that I highly recommend everybody read if you hadn't already read it, which is a book called From Good to Great by Jim Collins. And I thought about that scripture, and then the next thing, and after going through this whole process of thinking about grabbing the tail, it took me right to From Good to Great by Jim Collins, which Jim Collins and that whole book is about, and it's really targeting major corporations that we all know and have spent time with throughout our whole lives. But how do they go? Some of them have been around for a long time, but they've just stayed flat and haven't had much growth. But a few of them became exceptional. How do you go from good to great? And one thing he talks about six principles, 6 ingredients that you have to go through a process. And the first thing that I thought about when thinking about grabbing the tail was on the third piece of his 6 ingredients. It's called confront the brutal facts. Confront the brutal facts, the thing that nobody wants to talk about. You kind of know it. You know it's like an issue, and other people may even know it's an issue, but nobody wants to talk about it. Confront the brutal facts. And if you confront the brutal facts, you grab the tail. Most people stay away from the brutal facts because they don't want to talk about the fact that, well, maybe I'm not so good at that. I didn't do it because I remember, that one time I tried it before and I sucked at it. Or I didn't go that way because I remember somebody who I really looked up to and respected told me, don't go down there because they failed when they tried it. Or whatever the case, whatever that, ugly thing is in your brain that is keeping you from growing in areas where you may have had failures. And I'll tell you like this, and this is just speaking from a personal perspective. I mean, I'm like everybody else, I've definitely had areas of failure where I failed and I try to stay away from it. I don't even like talking about it with people. And you always have those friends. As soon as they see you, they bring it up like, oh, come on, man. Like, why would you bring that up, And I had to come to a point where I was like, I have goals today that are different from my goals 20 years ago. And if I have a goal today that I've not accomplished, or better yet, I haven't even pursued because of a failure that I had 20 or 25 years ago, but I'm a new person. I'm not the same dude 20 years ago. I don't even look like him no more. It's like, and that's something else, right? Like sometimes, like, I can get in the mirror and be like, who is this dude? And the first thing that can make me pissed off, like, man, who is that dude? And get mad. But then the other side of me said, that dude is you. What you gonna do about it? There's possible and opportunity and everything for this guy in front of you. Meanwhile, you're thinking about the guy from 25 years ago. And it's that time when you are looking to address a fear that has worried you or hung over your head for so many years. But at this point, where we're talking about accomplishing a 90-day goal setting challenge and accomplishing a goal that you've had, but fear has stuck, this fear is just staring you right in the face. I'm asking you today to grab the tail. I'm asking you today to grab the tail and see what happens. Grab the tail and see what happens. And I am, here's the truth of it. The purpose of this call and all the folks who are on and who are listening to us right now, I want you to recognize that you are not in this alone anymore. Because some people felt like, hey, I started a business, or I started my workout, or I started all these various things that you stopped. and you were doing it by yourself. And I'm here to tell you, you're not doing it by yourself anymore. That everybody on the call, everybody who's watching this later, everyone who will listen to this program and connect are now in your vibe. They're now connecting with you. They're now understanding what you're working on, what your goals are, what your fears were, what those challenges were, and how you're going to overcome it, which means you're not in this by yourself anymore. And one thing about this 90-day goal setting process is normally for our mastermind calls, we have our monthly call on Saturday mornings, but we will have just a peppering of engagements throughout the next 90 days, in addition to our monthly call, because you're not in it by yourself. We're all in this thing. We're all in. The fact that you woke up early in the morning, on Memorial Day, where you could have got that extra sleep, you chose to be here with us and to connect and go and take this thing to the next level. And so I want to, congratulate all you guys for even taking that step, who's even interested. And I want to also, for any of you who may want to talk offline, go to the website, either website. You can go to dreammakersnetwork.org and schedule a time, a one-on-one, just to talk about it, or go to our Engage Wealth, engage-wealth.com, schedule an appointment, and we can have a one-on-one conversation about what your 90-day goal setting is, if you don't want to share. But this is the time to share. I would love for you guys just to kind of open up the call, talk about what it is that you are getting ready to dive into for the next 90 days. Some of you know. I know some of you are like, okay, Dees, I saw your post. And I'm thinking about it. That's why I joined the call, because I'm thinking about something. So I'm piecing it together. So I'm listening. But I know a couple of you are ready to roll. You know exactly what the next 90 days, at least what the objective is. But now you're ready to take that first step. And some of you are already literally taking steps. That's part of that goal process, 90-day goal setting process right now. And I want to take a second and open up the call to anybody who's willing and ready to say what their next 90 days will be committed to, and what their process will be. So let's take a second and open up the call now to anybody who's willing and ready to share about the next 90 days. We'll open up the call now.
Ladies, I'm going to go ahead before I get too winded.
Yep, get in there.
I kicked off my 90-day goal setting challenge last Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my goals is to complete 5 days in these 90 days. And as of right now, I've got 30 in the bucket.
And say that again, Ren. So how many 5Ks you plan to do?
I have
50 5Ks.
5Ks.
Got it.
And 50, the number 50 is because of my 50th year that I'm in my 51st year. But I'm still riding 50. So, I am 3 5Ks in the bucket, and I am looking forward to meeting that goal and exceeding that goal and making this part of my lifestyle going forward, prayerfully for the next 50 years.
I love it.
So that's why I am. In addition to that, I'm working on building a business that is like a support services business that will help individuals, families, elderly in need of different types of services, including transportation, companionship, those sorts of things.
The Kindness Crew Support Services.
Good morning, ladies. Have a good day. Yes, I am part of the Kindness Crew. I am kind, and I'm working on the crew. But yes, I am Kindness Crew number 1. Y'all have a wonderful day. Continue to be blessed. I will talk to you on the next call.
I love it. Now I got a question for you. So you've already started. So this is good for anybody who's on that step one and kind of thinking about what they're getting ready to do. In the first, so this is your third, you're finishing up your third 5K right now. What are some of the things that you've benefited from in the past, over these past three 5Ks? Like, what are just some of the things that have stood out that you've enjoyed? What's the process? Kind of give us the drama.
The good is that I've been able to get up with ease, going for my walks, because I know I'm coming to see and experience and encounter some of God's most beautiful creations. Because I get up and get going so early, I get to see the sunrise. I'm experiencing some of the creatures down here on the lakefront. I'm exchanging good mornings and conversation with all walks of people.
What type of creatures have you seen on the lakefront?
And I'm being a blessing to them.
True. Well, what kind of creatures have you seen on the lakefront?
I've seen some alligators. I've seen some manatees. This morning, I saw a blue heron.
Wow.
Which is gorgeous. I'll share those pictures later today.
Okay.
But yeah, it's, and seeing a lot of four-legged friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, good morning. And, just exchanging energies with people.
Mm-hmm.
Positive energy in most cases. Encountered a few that don't look like they want to be here, but you know what? I'm giving them my positive energy and pray that the Lord will shift their spirit. So, that's where we are.
I love it. I love it.
I'm feeling right now.
You what?
I said I'm feeling it right now. It's a good one. It's a good one. And with my vitamin D.
I can tell it's really getting good to you now because I can hardly hear it because the wind is blowing. So you must be in full stride right now. All right. Well, I love it. Well, thank you. I really appreciate you jumping on and while you're in mid walk, because I think it's a good thing for folks to be able to hear what some the difference in the diversity of different goals, and then also I think it's also important when we talk about what we experience that's off of our norm once we start down a different path. And I actually have this conversation with my daughter, around when you pursue something that you want, something that you're excited about, something, and it could be the case that it's just you. You could have your tight crew or the people who are normally in your space on a day-to-day basis. But the moment you decide to veer off and pursue something that's unique to you, it's not a slight to anybody else who's part of your current life. It's not a way for you to kind of get away from them unless that's what you are trying to do, right? But for the folks who, your family, your spouse, your kids, all that stuff, like these are people who, if you become better, they're going to benefit. The people who are in your life that you love and you want to be in your life, as you dive into a new space, a new creative space, a new market opportunity, something that's going to give you purpose and energy, anybody who you've chosen to be in your life, they will benefit from that one way or the other. Either just going to benefit because your spirit is bright and because you're much more impactful and involved in the things that matter to you. Or maybe you become financially wealthy because you decided to dive into the areas that and understand, and you found your right marketplace and they love it that you're there, and it becomes a very profitable situation for you. So I say that to say, don't allow I would say the agents of the norm, the people who are in the things that are associated with normality, with the status quo, with the way things have been going, the comfort zone corral. The comfort zone corral. Don't allow the comfort zone corral. I like that. I'm documenting that now. Don't allow the comfort zone corral to stop you from diving into the unknown, because what is unknown, but you have an idea, or you have a spirit for it, or you have energy for it. It's one thing to go down an unknown and you don't want to be there. That's the whole thing in and of itself. But if your ideas and your experience and your energies are sending you down a path that you may not have been there before, but you have energy for it for some reason, what you're looking for is there. The thing that you're trying to reach is there. It's there. The market that you may have one time were there and you thrived in that market and you did really well there. And for whatever reason, you're no longer in that space, but you still have that yearning energy to get back into it. If that is there, you can see it. Trust me, it's really not the unknown. It's just that you haven't been in that particular space yet, but you know how to thrive in certain markets. And I want to make sure that for the purposes of this call and this process, that feel safe going into the unknown. Feel safe doing the things that may not be part of your current normal day. And especially even when it gets kind of crazy. But the cool part is, and just how Maria just articulated, the new characters, if you will, the new things that are part of your day, because you're now in a new space. To be able to have access to everyone. The sun rises for everybody, but most of us don't see it. Unless you get up in time enough to be in the right spot to see it on a daily basis, it's gonna miss it. You're just gonna miss it. And I think that each of us has our own quote unquote sunrise that we're trying to get access to, and to see these new things and have access to new opportunities. And so, I'm glad you shared that with us, and I appreciate you kicking this thing off for us. And let's open up the call. I know we're getting close to 8 o'clock, and I promise I'm not going to take you past 8 o'clock. I do have a couple other things to share, but I want to open up the call. Anybody who's willing and ready to say what they're going to dedicate the next 90 days to and why. We'll take a second and open the call now.
Hey, Mr. D, Dwayne Mitchell here. Go ahead, buddy.
Let's do it.
I'll take up you.
Oh, wait.
All right. I'll make this short.
Go for it, Brother Mitchell.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I'll make it short, or at least I'll try to make it short. As everyone knows, I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm at the gym from 5 to 7, and I've done my grocery shopping, so all my energy is just flowing. So what I'm doing, actually, I've already started it. I'm in the process of leaning on AI. I'm building a space where I can now be compensated for all my connections. So right now, what I'm doing is I am connecting people all over the country in different verticals. Because I've traveled the country, I know people in different verticals, and I've never been compensated for people making money. I just say, just having a conversation, talking about this, talking about that, and next thing you know, it's like, oh yeah, I know somebody, oh yeah. Then I make the introduction, and then they're off and running in their business, and they're making money. But the only thing that I get out, oh yeah, thanks.
Pat on the back.
And actually, I'm sorry?
Say a pat on the back. Thank you.
I don't even get a pat on the back.
Oh.
I'm just like, wow, that's Dwayne. He's a really good guy. That's all good.
Yeah.
It's cool though, because it's just the energy that I have about, hey, I know someone who can help you out. So I'm always helping people out.
Yeah.
And I feel thanks for it. But now to the point now where, you know what? I think it's time for me compensated for it. So I have a special niche, it all depends what part of the country from.
I know.
Where I'm going to start connecting businesses and people, and then I'm going to be compensated for it. So I've already have the name. I have my URL. I'm working with AI, and I'm also embracing AI. I think we all need to do that as well within our businesses and within the next 90 days. Let's see how human and AI can work together. AI is not here to replace us, but to assist us and better us. If we keep that mentality, then we will not be replaced by AI. Because I was fighting against AI for the longest time. I was like, nope, I'm a human. I need a human connection. So, but I'm going to embrace it. I'm using it to build a couple things. And then my goal is to, right now, the next 90 days, I have my business plan set up. I have my sales pitch set up. I have the call workflow, and it's all set up. I put it in AI. I have a splash-based landing page. I'm making connections out there with a couple programmers that actually can write what's called the APIs, so I can write to different softwares and applications. And then, but right now, I'm just on a granular thing. But my 90-day is, and I'm talking to these after this call, right within the next hour or two, is to set up my LLC or S-Corp and how I have individual businesses under my main company. That's what I want to do in the 90 days, to figure out how I can set up a business where if I do referrals, if I do anything, I will be compensated for it. Or if not, then my app is going to be how I get compensated, because I'm tired of letting them, whoever them are, make money off of my connections. So that's what I got.
Wait, I want to say this, right?
I love being nice. I love being a nice guy.
I want to say this. This is great, right? So this is a classic example of when we say what's in your hand. This is exactly probably. I promise I didn't ask Dwayne to talk about this because I didn't even know all the details of this, right? So, but he is a classic example of what's in your hand. What do you already have? What do you already know that is of value that you can advance? That is probably the best example that I could think of, because since I've known Dwayne now for, I don't know, 20 years, if not longer than that, probably. Yeah, definitely longer than that. So maybe 22 years, right? And even then, it was clear that this guy's a connector. Like, oh yeah, I've been here. I know this guy. You should call him. Or have you thought about this? What about? And before you know it, the web has been created, right? And the other part to it, the part I'm excited for you, because I mean, I work with a host of folks who that's what they do for a living. It's just they are connectors, and they've kind of wrapped, either they've wrapped their connector abilities under the auspice of a law firm or a CPA firm or some type of, business that people need, if you will, so, and they built practitioners under them to do a lot of the work, but it's really connectors who start these businesses. And they say, oh, that's Dwayne. Okay, got it. Yeah, well, you got our business, And so I love this, and I'm definitely looking forward to diving into it. But I want to, again, as another example, what's in your hand? What's in your hand right now? You've had it for a long time. You're good at it. Everybody knows you're good at it. Now it's just time to do what Jim Collins says: take it from good to great, and make it something of great use. So I'm looking forward. Yeah, let's dive in after the call, man. This is definitely. I'm ready. This is going to be good. It's going to be good. All right, what was it? I think we had CJ. Was that CJ on there? Or maybe.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my brother. Good morning, man.
Good morning, good sir. Good morning, everyone.
Yes, sir. All right.
Mine is more succinct and fundamental. It's funny that you bring up the Jim Collins book, Good to Great, but I'm going to reference another old classic called The 7 Habits of Successful People.
Ah, yeah.
And for me, it's also, taking it back to our commonalities and when we got started. Cast down your buckets where you are, utilize what you have, where you are. And for me, I know that I have a ton of valuable skill sets and connections. However, I never really thought, and for most of those, that it's not that I did not find them valuable. It's one of, am I in a healthy space to sustain charging someone for these services and making sure that they have what they need to fulfill their goals and make sure that they are getting consistent value for the knowledge base that I have. And one of those ways that I have to start is, I know a lot of times in business you look at, hey, who is your market share? Well, this one I'm actually I'm reversing it and looking inward, because if I am not reevaluating my habits, making sure that they are healthy, then how can I make sure that the vessel that contains the good stuff that I'm supposed to pour into everyone is not turned into a seed and leaking out when it's supposed to be poured, when it's supposed to be intentionally poured out. So that's what my 90-day goals is focusing on some things that are just basic, health as well. We all know that, but a lot of times we take it for granted, where if your health journey is where it's supposed to be for a lot of us, especially using a whole lot of our mental acuity, it's supposed to go without a thought that your body is functioning the way that it should, or at an optimal level, so that you can have a sustained energy to get you throughout your day, and also to be able to make adjustments, because you should only be making adjustments every now and again. If every day feels like you're reacting all day long, then it's time for a reset and reevaluate and understand what's going on, because any solid plan, you make adjustments for things that are unexpected, of course, but that should not be an every week occurrence. So with that being said, my 90 days is just going to be on the basics of reevaluating my habits, because as talented as many of us are, and others that we know, it's been shown and proven to me, and I am a believer that habits trump talent over the long run. It's just been proven over and over again, where we have high ceilings and we depend on that, thinking that we can go, I'll get to it, or I'll turn it on, or I got this in the bag, and then one day you're gonna reach in and try to reach into that bag, and you're gonna be glitches, or it may not be the same that day. And so therefore, you have good habits that allow you to have sustained growth. So like going on a long trip, and I just put that thing on cruise control, as opposed to me trying to manually operate every single thing. So that is, like I said, those are my 90-day goals, and getting back to basics and making sure I'm reevaluating my habits so that things can be more collected, organized, and sustained.
I love that, man. First of all, I think that's a great point as to why a lot of people who do know and understand a lot of stuff and very important stuff, why they don't do it, why they don't launch their own business, or why they don't take on the venture that has been in there, things that they know they can do, because they don't, in many ways, don't trust themselves to be able to deliver, even though you know you can, but am I in a good space to do this at a consistent basis? And which and we don't talk about that a lot, to be honest with you. It's like, I know a guy who, we all have heard of somebody who wanted to give a referral and said, man, I know a guy, a good electrician. He might not show up on time, though. He might be late, but when he gets there, that dude is the truth. He knows exactly.
Does amazing work when he gets there. Man, y'all gonna do on Tuesday? He might come on Thursday, but
that's the real. We all know that guy, and like, they are the truth, but it might not come the way you was hoping it. So, which really means, are we able to operationalize our expertise? Are we able to really take what we know and understand, package it, and really make it a value add to somebody who needs those services? I'll go back even to the example that I was talking about with Dwayne, is that I know a lot of folks who started businesses because they are at their core connectors. And the first thing they did, which was great, and from their perspective, is they operationalized what they know. Stuff that Dwayne's talking about starting to do, that's what they did. They operationalized it, and then as soon as they operationalized it, they staffed it with reliable people. with reliable people who can do the next pieces, right? Because they're connectors. That's who they are. They're connectors. Like I was like, oh, I can. Like I was talking to somebody the other day, and who had a history of working in the insurance business, but they worked, for the big companies, so but not in sales or anything like that. And I was like, you should get your license, and get your license just to show. It's like, well, I don't want to sell. I was like, well, this is more of like a sort of like if you've spent your time in an industry, you're getting your license. It's almost like just getting certified in the thing in the industry you spent the longest amount of time in, to show your expertise in a field, whether you're going to sell or not. And I bring it up because if you work for good entrepreneurs, you probably don't have to do any selling. They're the sellers. Like, they are the ones bringing in the business. They just need people with expertise to manage the operations of what they're selling, and that's the deal. I mean, that's what I'm in, right? That's my situation. I can sell all day. Like, I love it. I love doing this, but it takes me, I'm working late at night trying to complete applications, trying to complete applications and put together, client profiles and all of that stuff. Like, I'm not the best at that stuff, but selling and engaging with clients and talking this talk and all this stuff, I can do it all day. So how do you operationalize what you already know, what you understand, and operationalize it and staff it? Take what you don't understand, put a business around it, and put people to work. And it requires capital to do that, right? And so once you operationalize it and say, this is how the business works, and then you start marketing to folks to try to say, hey, I need some good people to run this, the day-to-day, the clients and all that. So it sounds easy. Oh, just go get some capital to do it. But I'll tell you like this, that is the process. And you have to shop what you built. So if you've taken an idea, your history of the work that you've done, and you put together a business model around it, and then you shop it for capital. You take it to the banks, you take it to the investors, and you say, this is why I'm great. You should be investing. Who else are you investing in that's better than me? You got to shop it. Who else? Well, tell me who else you've invested in. Like, and what's their rate of return? I'm giving you, this is going to be great. It's the best thing since sliced bread, right? So folks feel, when people invest in entrepreneurs, they believe in you. They say, man, I believe in what she's talking about. Count me in. I got $1 million. I know a couple other guys who I could put together a deal for you. That's what's real, and so to be able to go from, good to great, like Jim Collins says, is really standing tall on what you already know and understand, but then your ability to take what you know and understand and mass produce it. And that's an awesome thing, especially in this business space, So yeah, and CJ, you had a good example. And this week, we're going to a conference on Thursday, which I think is going to be a great unpacking and next step of you operationalizing what you already know and understand in a way that you'll be able to see very quickly the marketplace that needs what you already know and understand. That's the exciting part. And the thing is, these things are happening all the time, man. Like, there's so much deal flow and stuff happening out here that we just don't know about. And I've decided that a part of my 90-day, we are at 8:00. I just looked at the time. But part of my 90-day is to make sure that people like CJ and Dwayne and all these enterprising entrepreneurs are able to thrive in what they understand, and to make sure that they see where the market is for what they've created. Because that's the thing, like a lot of times we just don't know the people who want what we have. It's my goal is to continue to unpack where those markets are for entrepreneurs. That's an important deal. And if I unpack that even further, you know, for particularly for Black entrepreneurs who have just felt, in many ways, you felt like these markets aren't available to us. And I would tell you that's not the case. It's just we just don't know about them. We don't have enough of us in those rooms to be able to say, hey, come to this, come to that, you know, connect with this one, connect with that one. The markets are here. We just don't know they exist. And now it's just time to close that gap. So we can be able to provide the type of value that's already, you know, there's a lot of players in these spaces already, but they're not getting the kind of value. And I want to emphasize the word value. You know, there are people doing stuff, you know, and there's a lot of folks out here doing stuff, you know, providing quote unquote services, cookie cutter stuff. You know, the next guy is doing the same. We talk about like in financial services space, I mean, there's so many, you know, financial advisors out here, you know, who let me take you to look at your 401k and let me see what's in here. And then you're talking to a business owner who's afraid that they may get cut out of a market, that they may lose a contract, that, you know, they need to de-risk the business. Like, yeah, they're happy to pass this, you know, let you take a look at their money, but that's not what they're concerned about. You know, they're concerned, can I stay in business and grow this pot of money versus am I going to have to live off of this pot of money, which I didn't save enough anyway, right? So to go deeper into the conversation, especially if you have a target, you know, whoever your target client is, like what's keeping them up at night? What's making them like, is this going to pay off? Like, can I pay my people tomorrow? Payroll is due tomorrow, and can I pay them? That kind of deal, right? And so I just want us to advance from the surface into the deep where value can be created. You know, it's one thing to do something and be amongst the others doing stuff, but we're in search of value, of being true value creators for a host of people who need value. So who are in search of it, and they pay well if you bring the value, you know. And so yeah, brother, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for Dwayne. I'm excited for everybody, you know, who's really in that process of saying it's time to take what I'm doing and take it to another level. And in every example, we are past 8 o'clock, but I am going to open up the call to anybody who would like to share what their the next 90 days will look like for them and why. We'll open up the call now. Dr. Jones. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm just going consistency. So Rhea inspired me with the 50 5K for 50. I'm turning 50 this year. This is a year past. I'm walking into it.
Mm-hmm.
And plus just getting back up. I used to do 3 miles every day. Like that was normal. But somehow I fell off. I started taking care of other people's business and not taking care of my own. And so bringing that back into my daily practice. Also writing every day for an hour is the minimum. I want to write between an hour and 2 hours a day. Because again, that was something that I did every day for a very long time, and throughout my dissertation process. So I used to write 6 hours a day during that process. So now, like, what happened to that time that I set aside to do the thing. And so getting back into an hour of writing a day and getting 3 miles, getting those 3 miles in, again, within the 90 days, definitely 50, but certainly probably more. Sometimes we'll be indoors, sometimes we'll be outdoors because Pittsburgh, rain. So just making sure that it's done, making sure it's done. It doesn't have to look a certain way, but it just has to be done. It'll either be on the treadmill, outside, or possibly elliptical. So I'm giving myself just doing the movement every single day, no matter what. Within that time, not 53 miles a day within that 90. So looking at about 3 days a week for sure. And just making sure it's just done. But again, just the consistency, getting back in the habits, like the other brother said earlier. Just losing sight of my habits. I'm in the rebuilding. I'm still caregiving. I'm doing all these other things. Of course, separate my mama's money from my stuff. Like that is also a part of the consistency, but just making sure that those things are done and putting those systems back in place and following them. I help businesses get their systems in place. Mine are all over the daggone place. That don't make no sense. But just getting back to my stuff, making sure I'm washing clothes, meal prepping on Sunday, like the things that make my week go are the things I have to make sure I do. Because when I don't do, if I don't meal prep on Sunday, I don't have the right food, I'm not eating well, and I'm spending a whole lot more money. I'm going to use the hungry route again. So at least the groceries arrive on Sunday. I can coordinate what I want to do with them, and I can have a plan for the week. So just again, my goal for that 90 days is simply consistency. That's it.
See, I like how you peppered in there.
Hold on, D's. Dwayne Mitchell here. Dr. Jones, I have to come get you.
Hey.
Dwayne Mitchell here. You know I got to come get you.
How
you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
All right. I'm glad to hear you back there getting those steps in, but we also talk about getting that gym in as well, right? Go around some iron, right?
I'm doing lifting 3 times a week.
Okay.
It's part of the plan.
Okay.
Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning.
Okay, I'm checking in on you. All right, cool. Sorry, D. Sorry about that. I had to make sure Dr. Joe is throwing that iron around with it, and everyone, we need to throw some iron around.
Throw some iron around.
Yes, Dwayne. We know how you roll. Yes.
Throw some iron around.
But yes, I do live.
All right.
I love it. This is why I love this place.
That's right.
I love y'all. Thank you. Yeah.
That's right. We have our resident personal trainer in the house. They say, make sure you're throwing some iron around. I listen, I think about him every time I'm on the treadmill, and I'm like, all right, I'm getting ready to close up. I was like, oh wait, have you thrown some iron around yet? I said, brother Mitchell is in my brain. Saying, have you thrown some iron?
That's real. So when you'll be proud of me. So I've been working out with this guy. I'm one of the friends with. We just talk crap in the gym or whatever. So I said, okay, I'm going to get on your schedule because you are on a schedule. I'm not on one. So I'm kind of when you go. And so that's been my accountability. But he goes in there with his work clothes on and he throws iron around for like 20 minutes. I'm like, oh, you done? And so I clown him. So yesterday I worked out with him and he does all these arm work. And I was like, you want to do some legs, bud? And he was like, oh, I never do stuff. I said, come on, let's go. So I'm sure that he is thin. He is thin and he looks like he knows that he's going to the gym. But I'm teaching him how to do the leg presses. How to do all the different legs. And I was like, okay, are you right position? Wait, this is too high, this is too low. And I said, look at me looking like I'm talking about. Let me use what I'm talking about.
So what I'm gonna do is, Dr. Joe, I'm gonna send you a workout. It's if anyone else wants me to share it, I'll give it to you, DC. You can share it with the
okay.
It's a 5-day workout. I've already sent it to Rhea D's. It's lighter weight for high reps. And it burns the calories like no tomorrow, but it also tones up the muscles, and it doesn't do the basic 3 of squat, bench, and deadlift. It does the accessories that support the squat, bench, and deadlift. So we always forget about our accessories: the core, the glutes, the hamstrings, the triceps, the biceps, the traps, your traps, and even the calves. So all this comes into play. So I'll send it to you. It's 5 days. It's like 4 sets of 12, 4 sets of 10, but it's a workout. It's a good one.
Thank you. I'll shoot you my text right now again. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, Dwayne, send it to me, man. I'll just get it out to everybody.
All right.
I love it.
Yeah, we all need that one, man.
It's an easy one now. See, G's got me talking on this health and wellness and fitness. So that's the Junior Pro starting kit. Once y'all finish that, I'll give you the real workout where we're doing legs twice a week. So I have a workout that does 3 weeks of legs, but you're working on your legs twice a week. And let me tell you, it's a leg workout. I mean, we're doing. I mean, I did my legs yesterday. I'm still feeling it today in my glutes and my quads. But I'm telling you, once you guys finish this one, and then I give you the one because I have a 7-week program of just kind of getting ripped and cut, and then I have a powerlifting program as well. So I mixed up all 3 of these different programs that go, believe it or not, 7 to 8 weeks. And then I circulate depending where I am, depending where my mentality is. I'm looking to get stronger, if I'm looking to lose weight, if I want to get cut, if I need to work out a certain part of the body. Again, this is my connection that I'm doing here, right?
You're doing it.
I don't want money for this part, but when I launch the other business, that's when we're all going to connect together. And that's when everybody's like, wow, this works. This works.
Let's do it. Well, like I said, today is the best day to do this because today is day 1. You know, today is Memorial Day, so this is day 1 of the 90 days. So any information we can get out to the group, let's get it out. This is perfect. So yeah, shoot it to me, and we'll get everything out to everybody. And Ty, I also want to let you know while you were talking, I was holding up your book, Stretchy Nights and Sweet Dreams. This is amazing. First of all, I love this. I love this book that Ty Center wrote. And can you give everybody just a little breakdown about the book?
In the midst of all my shenanigans, but I wrote it because I wanted to give something to my niece, my little cousin, and I also wanted to show. Well, I'm not a mother, but I'm auntie, I'm cousin, I'm all these things, and I'm an educator, and so I wanted to do something that is helping parents understand the importance of routines at night and recognizing that children and adults have anxiety, and we don't put good routines in place, we're setting them up for failure. And so these are some of the lessons I've just learned as an educator, as well as through yoga, just really tapping in to how my body feels when I'm doing different stretches and different postures, and really understanding the premise of yoga overall. But this particular book just really walks through some physical activities to do for yoga for bedtime, and putting together, again, the routine piece of it. I actually wrote the letter to the parents first because the letter to the parents really does stress the importance of routines as a part of setting up your household and having expectations, as well as having order and understanding of what's next for young people. And so really helping them understand why, yes, home is supposed to be somewhat relaxing, but without structure, without routines, we're setting our kids up that look like.
That's real.
It's another opportunity to really teach that in a very honest but palatable way, without saying some of your parents just suck. As teachers about them. This is a better way of doing it, and let's be consistent. Let's show how this can work for your kid. But as most parents know, that if you're teaching a quality practice for your child, there's some things that you might start doing yourself, realizing that what you're teaching your kid is actually helping you be better in your management of your time and your schedule. And so this is kind of that. And I base it on my little cousin, because she's a crybaby and I can't wear her most times than not. But I love her. But it's like, let me do something that I can impact with her, and I can highlight her and doing this practice that makes sense. And yeah, I think it brings in all the things I do into one space, which I really also enjoy. Working with parents, working with kids, and doing yoga and being mindful and having children understand the importance of self-regulation and movement, so they can be their best self. And at some point, adults not leading them, but they have an opportunity to do it for themselves is the ultimate goal. You know, we teach it, and then later in life, they embrace it and be a part of their routines as they build their lives and they build their habits.
I just gotta be honest with you. This book makes me feel good. Like when you read each chapter, or I should say each page, and the illustrations, and I can see you in here and this little kid, and I know it's your cousin, and it's just stretching nights and sweet dreams, and not hearing that why you wrote the book the way you did. Because we work so much, with these young dancers. Since Maddie she's been dancing since she was 4 years old, and there's a host of other little dancers, right? And so, but and the dance is their talent, but what many of them don't have is the discipline behind the talent.
Yeah.
And so to be able to create at an early age routine and discipline to add to your talent is what I definitely feel this book would give. And I would say this is another example of what's in your hand. This is something you've already created. And now the objective is, how do we scale what you've already created? And I think that we should definitely talk in more detail about scaling this, because the one thing I can say about, when Maddie was a little baby toddler, I just saw all of these, that time period, the level of entrepreneurs in that product space. I mean, there's all these parents who were looking for a certain type of something for their kid, couldn't find it, created it, and now are multimillionaires, because other parents are doing the same thing, right? And this is an example. This is a legacy building something, because here's the truth. As long as people are around, we're always going to have kids, and everybody is looking for a resource. And if you can create kid resources, that's a generational asset. So let's talk about how to mass produce this, and the fact that you just said that your goal is to create and write more. That's part of your 90-day goal setting challenge, to write more, to stay in the mode of writing and being disciplined, and which means that you're producing more valuable content like this. So yeah, we got to stay connected on this, Ty, because you got a lot of cool stuff.
The next book I'm working on, I have a lot of information coming out. Like the next one I'm writing, I'm actually editing it right now. It's focusing on children who are in foster care, and so there's a series in and of itself. And this little boy is going through, like, his situation is that he's currently being fostered by, like, a person in the community, and the reason he can't be with his mother is through drugs. The reason he can't be with his grandmother because she's in senior living. So, like, it's all these, like, different layers and nuances, but the importance of building community around kids who are in crisis and keeping them connected with their families as much as possible. Like, there's just all these different, like, really important points within the foster care system, and I want to write these really critical points, and the child is actually explaining it. So we're looking at children advocacy, and kids being able to understand what they're going through with the correct terminology, because we don't talk to kids. That's the other piece of nothing is we have to talk to children and giving them understanding of what's happening, so they don't feel like that decisions are being made without them really understanding what's happening. We have to trust that children have some level of emotional needs, and we just can't do things without real process of them understanding what's happening around them. Like, can we just shave off a few years of therapy if we talk to kids on the front end? Like, that's one piece. And then, of course, I'm working on my autism stuff around communication. So it's like there's a couple things that are, like, really happening externally for me right now, but I know it's about the writing piece, and of course writing what's going on with my mom, and understanding the process as it relates to guardianship, and when you become a power of attorney, it's important to sharing information with your children, like at what point is this acceptable and important. So it's like all these things that have been information I've been collecting through my different positions or come in my life, or we have to document them so that the next generation can learn what a better way of going about doing certain things.
I will say this, in just this past hour, almost hour and a half now, that we've been talking, I realized there's something else I need to do. is, Ty, we need to set up just a kind of podcast style conversation where we document, you get a chance to share and communicate what you're working on. And now it's documented, it's out there. And we add it to our Dreammakers Network page so we can begin to really tighten up the web of our network. Because as you were talking, my brain thought about at least 3 different people you need to talk to. Or I should say mainly who need to talk to you. Be honest with you. And that's
and with Dwayne's app, we can all get paid.
That is right. And Dwayne's app is gonna get up. That's right.
People have been eating off of my connections for 30 years at this point, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
can I get a meal? And that's,
Can I get a meal? Yes. So
a meal, something.
and yes. So we gotta do that. I want to get that done definitely within the 90 days. And we also got to talk offline because I want you to go. So I don't think we're going to be on the Vineyard at the same time this year, but I want you to
No, we're not. We're
go.
going with each other.
But when you get there, though, I want you to be able to go with some assets in your hand to come back with some contracts. And I know people go for different reasons, but if you're going in the month of August, you need to come in with some assets in your hand and some contracts walking out.
I don't want that. I want bugs and I want money for my documentary is what I really want. I want money for my documentary.
Yes.
And I want to be selling some bugs.
So we're gonna do this.
We'll talk later.
Yeah, we'll talk. We're gonna get this right. We're gonna make sure you're right before you step foot.
Okay.
So all right, folks. We are well past 8:00. I don't know why I tried to do this to close this out at 8:00, but I'm excited about what's next. This next 90 days. The thing I want us to walk away with today, because I had a whole bunch of stuff I wrote down. I'm not going to talk about it. We'll save it for another connection. But I do want us to look at this week, the next before June 1st, and set our goals of what we plan to accomplish before June 1st. And means that you have to do something today, or maybe even within the next before noon, that you can start before noon today that will give you access to a creation or accomplishment before the day is out that's going to really put you in an advanced situation before June 1st. So be able to break down the week, the day, the intraday goals. One thing I know that I'm working on a workshop, retirement planning workshop, that I need to get my locations locked in, the time. I need to make sure the marketing pieces are ready to go. So I'm getting the marketing pieces done before noon today. And I hope before the end of today, I'll have at least one scheduled workshop done, or at least on the books, right? And then we'll be in a position to be able to market those workshops before the end of the week. So we got to get to a point where we're now having these intraday, day, weekly goals. So think about what it is that you have to do before 12 o'clock today to help you get toward accomplishing your goals for the day and for the week. Anybody else have any questions or comments?
I'm already one step ahead of you. I already started. My stuff is going to be done some of my stuff will be done by 2 p.m. today.
Love it.
I got a hard cutoff. But y'all didn't hear from me today, but I got a lot of work that I need to do in 90 days. My life has been lately a whole lot of transitioning, a whole lot of disruption. And so putting all the pieces back together again is my 90-day challenge. I don't know, when we first started this, I was like team organized. Like everything had to be documented, organized, and blah, blah, blah. But then life happened.
Yeah.
And so I feel like this unrest. And so my goal is to get back to that place where I have my life organized. Everything is compartmentalized where it needs to be. I'm hiring a personal assistant. Matter of fact, a close friend of mine decided I'm going to hire her for you. And
that's what's up.
I'm going to interview them for you. And she found me a personal assistant.
I need friends like that.
She's doing too much and I don't want you to have a stroke.
I know, right?
So, my goal, 90 days from now, my life is going to be so much more organized than it is today. So in the process of all of this, I just keep building and I keep building and I keep building. And so things have gotten off the normal, organized lifestyle that I've had. So I just have to find that place of, okay, this is rest. And so that's where I am. So by this time next year, I'll be back at 3.5 days of working. Other people can work the other days.
Yeah.
But it takes organization to get there. So 90 days from now, I will have my own life systems in place. Probably 30 days from now.
Yeah.
The slacking, the falling off, the returning phone calls, I will be in a much better place. But organization, that is huge for me, and that's where I'm going with that. I also want to collaborate with my mother and do some wellness workshops with her. So just other things. I'm doing it in the dental field, collaborating with Black female dentists. So we are working on podcasts. We're working on another conference in 2027. But I need to do this with it's my church community. But I need to do it. I need to be organized mentally first, because otherwise it's just more stuff. So that's where I'm going with my 90-day thing. So my goal today, my new accountant, who's actually an old accountant, he asked me for some stuff 2 months ago because I'm not mentally where I want to be.
Yeah.
I'm going to get this done to him. I'm going to get it to him today.
There we go.
Before noon. And then the other stuff I'll do before 2. So having my coffee right now because I'm about to hit the ground running. I'm getting back to my Maria stuff where exercise. I'm going to put it in my schedule again. There was a point where at 5 o'clock in the morning, I was like Dwayne.
That's right.
Dwayne was already an hour in. Going back to my workout routine. So that's my 90 days.
I love
90
it.
days from now, mentally, I will not feel like this. And the proof is going to be calls are going to get returned. I will have a record of things. Like I will have personal assistant who's handling stuff. The only reason I don't have a personal assistant now is because I don't know what to tell her. I don't even know where to start.
There you go. I knew you were going to say that.
We have, my girlfriend set it up to where she's going to follow me for 3 days. And then we'll come up with a plan. She's going to be with me for 3 days. Just to see, okay, what is happening before we start implementing a plan. And I'm like, a day can start here and end up way over there.
That's right.
So that's how my life is, spontaneous. But that's me. That's it. That's all. I'm excited about it. Excited about getting back to me.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's so interesting because was it 13 years ago when you really kicked off and helped us to really shape the power of a 90-day challenge, you know, and Dr. Truesdale kicked off and started her, I'm going to start a dental practice in 90 days and did it 13 years ago. Like I'm going to start a dental practice in 90 days and did it in 90 days. I mean, literally it was the proof was so powerful, and to see how things have advanced and scaled over the past 13 years. I do think, though, that just as I just shared with said to Dr. Jones, we need to do the same thing for you. We need to just do a quick, and I shouldn't say quick, but we need to do a podcast style interview just to catch everybody up on where things are with everyone, because where you were 10 years ago is not where you are now. And the same thing for all of us, right? And so that's been a part of this network, and then have it fresh on our website so people can go and then begin the web that Dwayne's talking about, so we can create some tangible resources to help add value to where we're trying to go, right? And just like right here on our LinkedIn page, our brother Charlie Hardy in Tuskegee said, this is the fierce urgency of now. And now is it, especially as we're trying to create these intraday goals, because we know what it takes to, at least from an idea perspective, we know what it takes to get to accomplish the goals that we want. The question is, are we organized enough to do it today? Are we doing those intraday, let me put this to the side and get this done, the stuff that actually matters, get that done right now and keep moving? And that's where we are. Even as CJ mentioned, so I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. I think that we're going to be in touch ongoing throughout this process. I want to make sure that we celebrate as things are happening. So stay connected with everybody. Let us know what's happening even before we have a call. Something great happens, post it to the chat. Let us know. When there's a challenge that happens, listen, let's just lock in time. Book time on the calendar so we can talk about it, because again, a lot of the resources are here. And we don't want you going through a unnecessary challenge, right? Like you're going through like, oh my God, how am I pull this off and this, that, and the other. And then nobody was ever called, So let's make sure we lock in time. And if for folks who are on the call for the first time or connecting with us online, definitely feel free to go to our websites, thedreammakersnetwork.org, or go to engage-wealth.com, schedule time, connect with us. Let's lock in some time to talk through what you're working on. But this 90-day goal setting challenge is just a time filled with optimism, opportunity, the necessary work, like just a focused time. And it's been of great value to us over the years. And so if you're here for the first time, look at this, just welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. We are believers. You don't have a lot of, you won't hear a lot of doubt and woe is me. But I will say this, right? We've had folks, and I've been one of them, at some point in my life was kind of a little bit of a doubter and not sure if what I'm thinking about is really possible. But when you hang around people who are focused on accomplishing goals and have that by any means necessary mentality and are just working every day, it's hard to stay in a kind of a kick the can down the road, woe is me type energy. And so if you are in that place, welcome to the Dream Makers Network, right? Because there's a host of folks, as you've already heard, who are just willing and ready to go in and be of value. And a lot of those stories, if you go to our website on dreammakersnetwork.org and just go to the videos page and the mastermind calls, a host of opportunity there to learn what people are doing and how they've overcome some challenges. But for the purpose of this 90-day goal setting challenge, let's dive in. Let's really make it intentional. Do something that you really want, that you really truly believe will take your life from where it is to where you want to be, and be intentional about that. Get excited about that. We reference a lot of books. Get your book on, right? Get your book reading on. If you're an Audible guy and listen to Audible, do that because you're busy and you don't have time to turn the pages, whatever it takes, but get the information in. Because I think that we need that aid to keep us, fired up and motivated as we're looking to kind of advance and get into those spaces where we need some guidance and some direction. And so with that, anybody else have any questions or comments before we finish up for the day? Morning, my brother. Our team, how you feeling, man?
Like a superhero. My birthday, baby. My birthday today, brother.
Happy birthday to
Memorial Day.
Oh, wow. I love it. Happy birthday, brother.
Let me drop this in there. Thank you, bro. So it's funny because it seems like most of the time when I get on the calls, I end up hearing Dana and Tasana talking, which my relationship with them is one that has been encouraging for a long time. So, Tasana, I appreciate you more ways than one. Dana, you already know the conversations we have, the motivation. So for the last 60 days, Byron, I've launched Union Merch, my new company. You know, I came to you.
That's right.
Went over there at the borough. We put that thing together. And now it's turning into a second company. A union company that will be all union made. The clients, 700,000 electricians are already set as an intro market. And then I get to do a second version of the company, which is non-union. But this is going to require that focus that you're talking about. Like all the BS, all the pump faking, all the starting and stopping, any of that at this point is just on me. Like I literally, not that you care about numbers, but I'm a numbers guy. So I've been literally selling hoodies for $60, bro. Like on the job, walking out the job every day with, you know what I mean, decent amount of sales. And then it really just hit me like Frederick is it. So I've located myself in Frederick, living-wise, personally.
Oh yeah,
I started a new business location on New Design Road. I'm going to need y'all support. That's why I'm telling y'all this. I don't normally come to people and ask for a whole lot of nothing. I give out a lot of resources, information, like Tata said. A lot of people eating off stuff that I passed out. This is the first time I'm coming to people and saying, look, I'm going to need not just support, but I'm going to need information. I'm going to need insight because I can sell shirts, right?
Yeah.
I can create great designs, but what I'm looking for now is safety contracts, bro. I met a guy on the job. He said, look, you're doing all of that. You need to go to the safety companies and get on their calendar. They buy hundreds of safety vests, T-shirts for these events, like a safety stand down or a topping out party. So I can catch up with you offline, but you know, me, you, and bro need to talk, and I need to talk to your guy down at Harbor. I had that issue down there. We never got it resolved.
Okay.
But I'm sharing this as a original member of this group.
Yeah.
And just consistently haven't been going in circles. And at this point, bro, I'm making more money than I ever made. Things are better than I ever seen them. I was able to give my daughter literally $10,000. Like, bro, when I say things are great, and I just want to continue to stay humble, I want to continue to stay connected. You know what I mean? I need to be informed. So
that's a blessing, brother. I
just wanted to share that for anybody who needs a little motivation.
That's a massive blessing. And you know what's also going back, I don't know if you heard early on, but when we talked about what's in your hand, and with your experience, the combination of your printing experience, your design experience, and having the network of the unions, that is in your hand, right? So the question then becomes, how do you expand what's in your hand? How do you take that to the next level? And contracting is definitely it. And so you are, I mean, listen, it doesn't get any better than that. I think you are right here exactly where you need to be. Now it's just scheduling the right meetings with the right people to get a contract going, because I mean, what you do, you're expert at what you do. And so now it's just time to leverage that through contracts. And if you're looking for capital, that's going back to, you know, those connections. So it's not like a pie in the sky type situation, but you're now in a situation where you're connecting markets that you've been in for years. You know, that's much more of an investable type space and business model than, hey, I think I'm really good at this. Give me some money so I can test that out. So
well, this time we're gonna do a C Corp so we can have be set up properly for funding. I hear people talking about the LLC thing, but I'm gonna go back with a C Corp. Meet with Will, but I got to get that 3 years of existence with the proper filings and all your numbers being in place. So right now, I'm just doing my thing. I'm looking to get an embroidery machine, move it out here into this space. But it's all fun for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I see. I'm enjoying myself. I'm happy. I feel good.
That's a blessing.
That's important to anybody on this call. You got to feel good now.
Yeah.
I think I learned that in this group, right? Feel good now, right? Be happy, right? So just want to share that little motivation for anybody.
Love it, brother. Appreciate you sharing that, man. Just closing us out, just as right on time as well. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, let's definitely connect offline, man. And yeah, I'm excited, man. It sounds really great, especially if you're still in Maryland, you know. So there's definitely some opportunity too. So let's lock that in.
Frederick is expanding, bro.
Like, yeah.
When you come up here and see, I'm gonna take you down on Ballinger Creek. All of those farms have been bought up by Amazon and other customers. All of that stuff is going to turn into data centers. The cash cow is going to be the time of transition. You can make tons of money now, but once those data centers get done, you ain't going to be here.
It's going to be a problem with all them data centers in the water.
I know, right?
Yeah, well, that's the Belize, right? I'm going to make my money. I'm going to Belize or somewhere. I'm getting about it.
With that, I know. Hey guys, listen, this is great. Let's finish up. Let's get this Memorial Day started off with the amazing. I appreciate all of y'all for helping me get this Memorial Day started off right. I knew we were thinking about doing the call and just waiting until our next call, which is not this Saturday, but next Saturday. But I was like, no, we got to get this. We got to get our 90-day goal setting started off the right day. So I'm glad you guys were able to jump on. So excited about it. Yes. Oh, who we got? Uh-oh. Oh, I know who that is.
No, the call is over, yo. The call is over, bro. The call is done, bro.
I know who that is.
He always trying to jump in last. Can you mute our team, please? I'll mute myself. Come with these old random days. I try to protest like, yo, man, I have nothing to say, man. It's crazy. I got stuff to do. Monday, we get the first Saturday. That's what it is. 90 days to start. And you send the text message out, and then I hop on it, and I'm like, everybody who is on here is who you need. I heard everybody. I was like, okay, here comes Dan. Okay, there goes Wayne. Okay, here comes Dustin. Okay. And then when my team came on, I was like, come on, man. As I already pulled out of the damn Dunkin' Donuts, listening to Wayne. I was in the drive-thru, and I was like, all right, let me not go to the Dunkin' Donuts today. I'm messing with the Wayne. So I
exactly.
there and kept it moving. And I had that, and I had this weird feeling, like, you know how you about to do something, like in sports. Especially in sports, if you're about to do like a big game, or you're about to do something, or a challenge is happening, or sometimes the people who are getting ready to speak, and you're getting ready to go on stage, and you get your the butterflies or whatever. I'm like, as I'm listening to the call, as I'm thinking about 90 days, I got that, like, my heart is pumping. And I'm like, it's not for no reason, but it's the feeling as if I'm about to start, like start right now. With the challenge, or like if you're getting ready to go on the field. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. The energy that's on the call and all the people, and as y'all are talking, and the voices and my memories and all the things are like swirling in. So I'm super grateful. Grateful is not even enough of a term, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I got this thing that I just wanted to just put out there, like, yo, over the time and the things that y'all have done for me, and the stuff the places we've been, and the times that we've shared, and the energy that still exists, that I draw from every day, that I don't always think about it as where I'm drawing it from, but I know that our network and the people that have spoke today and the people that are listening, who I know are on the call, because when I logged on, I know the numbers, and I'm like, oh, okay, obviously all the people talking aren't the people who are on the call, but I know people who aren't talking are there also, who have been involved in the call, who are also providing that energy. And it is very, very key to me personally pushing forward. So I'm like, yo, I just had to shout out to thank you, outside of all of the my hopefulness and desire for all of y'all to hit all your goals. And I obviously I got some stuff that I want to do. I mean, in my 90 days, I'm gonna close the deal. and crack 100,000. So that's what I want to do. That's what we're going to work on. But the thing about it is, all of the there's a book that I read a long time ago when we first got started. It was called How to Read a Book. Right? Because as I was going into all the personal development stuff, all of the other stuff, so this guy broke down exactly the way to read a book. Go to the table of contents. Read that first. Highlight the ones you want. And it was designed to try to not deal with the BS, because there's so much BS in the personal development space.
Yes.
So you don't want to waste your time, right?
Yeah.
So as I was listening to the call, I was like, we need to release something called How to Listen to the Call. Step 1, listen to Byron. Step 2, from every person that comes, make sure that you draw something. Because as I listen at the end, I'm like, each one of the things that was said was key to my own personal success. And I know if you're listening closely, the things that the people have said have been key to the success that you want. Whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's organization, whether it's working on your passion, your dreams, all the stuff that's happening, you know what I'm saying? Working on this thing that already exists, the stuff that you said. So the call is unusually overwhelming for me personally, and then to top it off with the cherry on top, to hear, I seen success at the very end, and the numbers, it was all right. I'm like, damn, before you get off and hit me with the have a blessed day and just, have at it and all, the rah-rah.
Have at it.
I want to say this one more thing. Yeah, you know how you be. Have at it. On with an upward.
On with an upward.
I feel on with an upward. Over and over.
Hey, well, Paz, I got this for you. I got this one for you, brother. If your why doesn't make you cry, then your why isn't big enough.
Listen, man, I don't know how y'all put a bootleg up in this, bro. That's a lot. I'm about to go take care of this little piece of this business. But it's just good. And I have an email that's been stuck in for a week, so I'm gonna just go ahead and send that out.
Send it out. Send the email.
That'll be start. Yeah, that's the start. Yeah, that's the start of my channel.
Send the email before noon.
I'm so grateful for y'all.
Look, there we go. Hey, finally, that's what I'm talking about. If your why don't make you cry, then your why ain't big enough. I love it. Now we're getting somewhere. We could end the call now officially. We got you. That's right. You know how long I've been waiting to get this brother to shed a tear? That's what I'm talking about, man. I've been waiting. 15, y'all don't know, more than 15 years. I've been trying to pull this off for a long time. Oh, this is hey, listen, we all about to hit our goals right now. I'm just here to tell you. My 90-day goal setting challenge has been accomplished on day 1. Oh man, let's go get this thing. Like Brother Morris said, let's have at it. Let's have a great Memorial Day, and let's go make this thing work. On with an upper.